Welcome to True Crime Fusion, where we explore the darkest corners of human behavior and unravel shocking mysteries. Today, we delve into the chilling case of the murder of Fareed Malik, a beloved community leader whose life was brutally cut short. Behind the tragedy lies a tangled web of betrayal, forbidden love, and shocking secrets. Fareed Malik, a 39-year-old pharmacist, lived with his wife Aisha in the serene suburb of Maplewood, New Jersey. A respected figure in the local Muslim community, Fareed was known for his charitable nature, often hosting health clinics and fundraisers. His wife Aisha was equally admired, a graceful, intelligent woman who volunteered at a local women's shelter. Together, they seemed like the perfect couple, but behind closed doors, their lives were anything but perfect. Fareed's younger brother, Imran, was a frequent visitor to their home. A struggling artist in his early 30s, Imran often relied on Fareed's support, both financially and emotionally. Fareed treated him as a son, helping him pay off debts and even inviting him to stay with them during difficult times. Aisha, too, seemed fond of Imran, often preparing his favorite meals and encouraging his artistic pursuits. On the surface, the Malik family embodied harmony. However, on the evening of March 5, 2023, their facade came crashing down. It was Aisha who placed the frantic 911 call at 9:47 p.m. that night. Her voice trembled as she pleaded with the operator. "My husband, he's not breathing. There's blood everywhere. Please, send someone quickly." When first responders arrived at the Malik home, they found Fareed sprawled in the living room, his lifeless body surrounded by blood. A broken glass vase lay beside him, shards scattered across the floor. The coroner's preliminary assessment indicated multiple stab wounds to his chest and abdomen, as well as severe blunt force trauma to his head. It was a scene of unspeakable violence. Aisha, trembling and disoriented, told the police she had discovered Fareed moments after returning from the grocery store. "The door was unlocked," she said tearfully, her hands gripping a tissue. "I walked in, and he was like this. I don't know who could do such a thing." The police immediately cordoned off the scene, collecting evidence and interviewing neighbors. One neighbor, Mrs. Patel, mentioned hearing raised voices earlier that evening, but dismissed it as a family argument. "They seemed like such a happy couple," she said. "I can't believe something like this happened." Detective Liam Rourke, a seasoned investigator with a sharp eye for detail, was assigned to the case. He noted that the house showed no signs of forced entry, suggesting that Fareed likely knew his killer. A search of the home revealed something even more perplexing: a shattered picture frame containing a family photo of Fareed, Aisha, and Imran. Meanwhile, forensic teams discovered traces of blood on the kitchen counter and a trail leading to the back door. Detective Rourke couldn't shake the feeling that something didn't add up. As investigators delved deeper, the cracks in the Malik family's perfect image began to surface. In her initial questioning, Aisha described her marriage to Fareed as stable but distant. She admitted that their relationship had been strained in recent months, citing Fareed's long hours at the pharmacy and their inability to conceive children as sources of tension. "I loved him," she insisted, her voice breaking. "Even if things weren't perfect, I never wanted this." However, inconsistencies in Aisha's account began to emerge. Surveillance footage from a nearby grocery store contradicted her timeline. Aisha hadn't been at the store when she claimed. Instead, a neighbor's doorbell camera captured her leaving the house just minutes before the 911 call. When confronted, Aisha stammered, I must have lost track of time." Her nervous demeanor and conflicting statements raised suspicions, but it was the discovery of a second set of footprints in the backyard that added an unexpected twist. The prints didn't match Aisha's or Fareed's shoes. They belonged to a man. Detective Rourke knew he was uncovering a deeper story, one steeped in betrayal. All signs pointed to someone Fareed trusted, someone close enough to evade suspicion. His brother, Imran, became the next focus of the investigation. Detective Liam Rourke's attention turned to Imran Malik, the younger brother who had always been in Fareed's shadow. On March 6, 2023, Imran was brought in for questioning. Sitting across from Detective Rourke in the dimly lit interrogation room, room, Imran appeared tense but cooperative. "I don't know what happened," Imran said, his voice unsteady. "I wasn't even there last night. I was at a friend's place, working on a mural project. Can anyone verify that?" Detective Rourke asked, his piercing gaze fixed on Imran. "Yeah, a couple of friends. We were there until late," Imran replied, glancing down at his hands. Detective Rourke noted Imran's nervous behavior, but continued calmly. "When was the last time you saw your brother?" "Yesterday morning. He lent me some money, said it was the last time he could help me out." Imran hesitated, then added, "Fareed was stressed lately. I think the pressure of everything was getting to him." "What kind of pressure?" Rourke probed. Imran avoided eye contact. "Work stuff, I guess. He didn't talk about it much." As Imran's alibi was being verified, detectives searched his small studio apartment. Among the clutter of paint supplies and canvases, they found a crumpled envelope with Fareed's name on it. Inside was a handwritten note. "Imran, this is the last time. I can't keep covering for you. Get your act together." The note hinted at tension between the brothers, but it wasn't enough to implicate Imran in the murder. However, forensic analysis soon revealed something far more damning: traces of Fareed's blood on a pair of Imran's shoes found in his closet. When confronted with this evidence, Imran's demeanor shifted. His cooperative facade crumbled, replaced by stammered denials. I don't know how that got there. Maybe I stepped in something when I visited the house." Detective Rourke wasn't convinced. "Imran, the blood pattern on these shoes matches the spatter at the crime scene. That doesn't happen by accident." Under mounting pressure, Imran admitted that he had visited the house on the evening of Fareed's murder, but insisted he left long before anything happened. "We argued," he confessed. "He said he was done bailing me out, that I needed to grow up. I got angry and stormed out, but I didn't kill him." Imran's confession placed him at the scene during a critical time frame, but his claim of innocence left lingering questions. Meanwhile, Aisha's inconsistencies deepened the mystery. Detectives discovered text messages between Aisha and Imran from weeks prior, hinting at a relationship far more intimate than they had initially admitted. One message from Aisha read, "We can't keep doing this. Someone will find out." Another from Imran, "I can't stop thinking about you. He doesn't deserve you." When confronted with the messages, Aisha broke down. "Yes, I was having an affair with Imran," she confessed, tears streaming down her face. "But that doesn't mean I killed my husband." Detective Rourke pressed further. "When did the affair start?" "A year ago," Aisha admitted. "Fareed was distant, and Imran, he made me feel alive again. But it wasn't serious. It ended months ago." The affair revealed a possible motive for both Aisha and Imran, but the evidence was still circumstantial. Investigators combed through phone records, looking for a breakthrough. What they found was chilling. On the evening of March 5th, Aisha had called Imran 3 times in the span of an hour. Surveillance footage from a nearby gas station showed Imran's car parked a few blocks from the Malik residence around the time of the murder. Despite his earlier claims, Imran had been in the vicinity. When detectives confronted Aisha with this new information, she became defensive. "I called him because I was scared. Fareed and I had a fight earlier that day. I thought Imran could help calm him down." "What was the fight about?" Rourke asked. Aisha hesitated. "He accused me of being unfaithful. He found an old text from Imran on my phone. I told him it was nothing, but he didn't believe me." This revelation painted a volatile picture of the Malik household on the day of the murder. Fareed, already under stress, had confronted Aisha about her infidelity. Imran's arrival at the house shortly after raised questions about his intentions. Detective Rourke now faced a tangled web of motives and lies. Had Imran killed Fareed in a fit of jealousy, or had Aisha orchestrated the murder, using Imran as an unwitting accomplice? The answers remained elusive, but one thing was clear: someone wasn't telling the whole truth. On March 8, 2023, the investigation took a dramatic turn when forensic analysis of the crime scene revealed a critical piece of evidence: Fareed's phone, which had been hidden under the couch cushions in the living room. The device was damaged but recoverable, and its contents painted a clearer picture of the events leading up to the murder. Fareed's final outgoing call was to Aisha at 8:13 p.m., less than 2 hours before Aisha's frantic 911 call. The call log showed it lasted just under 2 minutes. When questioned about it, Aisha appeared visibly shaken. "I don't remember him calling me," she stammered. "We weren't speaking much that evening." Detective Rourke's team also recovered text messages Fareed had sent earlier in the week to a close friend. One message stood out: "Something isn't right. I think Aisha and Imran are hiding something from me." The phone's search history added another layer of intrigue. Fareed had been researching divorce attorneys and how to draft a will. Investigators now had a plausible theory. Fareed had discovered the affair and was preparing to take action. This could have escalated into the argument that led to his murder. Meanwhile, Imran's alibi completely unraveled when one of the friends he claimed to be with the night of the murder admitted that Imran had left their gathering abruptly. He said he had to take care of something urgent, the friend revealed. "I didn't think much of it at the time." Detectives re-examined the bloody footprints leading from the Malik home to the backyard. Imran's shoes matched the prints perfectly. Additionally, traces of mud found on the soles matched the soil in the Malik garden. Imran was officially placed at the scene, but the question of his intent remained. On March 9, 2023, Aisha was brought back in for questioning. This time, her demeanor was far more defensive. "I've already told you everything I know," she snapped, her voice trembling. Detective Rourke remained calm. "Aisha, we've confirmed that Imran was at the house that night. If there's something you're not telling us, now is the time." Aisha hesitated, her hands gripping the edge of the table. "Fine," she said finally. "Imran came over that evening. I called him because I was scared after the fight with Fareed." "What happened when he arrived?" Rourke pressed. He tried to calm Fareed down, but things got worse. Fareed was furious. He accused both of us of betrayal. They started shouting, and then her voice trailed off. "And then what?" Aisha buried her face in her hands. "I don't know. I left the room. I couldn't handle it." "Where did you go?" "The backyard," she said quietly. "I needed to clear my head. When I came back, Fareed was lying on the floor, and Imran was gone." Her statement implicated Imran, but it also conveniently absolved her of any direct involvement. Detective Rourke wasn't convinced. If Aisha had witnessed the aftermath of the struggle, why hadn't she mentioned it earlier? And why had she taken so long to call 911? Imran, now the prime suspect, was arrested on March 10, 2023, and charged with Fareed's murder. Under intense interrogation, he maintained his innocence, but admitted to being present during Fareed's final moments. "We argued, yes," he confessed. "He was shouting, calling me a liar and a thief. He even threatened to go to the police. But I didn't kill him." Imran's story aligned with parts of Aisha's account, but significant gaps remained. Why had he fled the scene? And why did he wait until now to admit he was there? As the investigation continued, the case took yet another shocking turn. Forensic analysts examining Fareed's injuries discovered that the stab wounds didn't match the knife found at the scene. The pattern suggested a different blade, one that hadn't been recovered. This revelation raised the possibility of a second attacker. If Imran was telling the truth about not killing Fareed, who else could have wielded the weapon? On March 11, 2023, the final piece of the puzzle fell into place. Detectives found a bloody knife wrapped in a towel, hidden in a storage bin in the Malik garage. Aisha's fingerprints were all over the blade. When confronted with this evidence, her defiance crumbled. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she sobbed. "He was shouting, calling me horrible things. I just snapped. I didn't even realize what I'd done until it was over." Aisha confessed to stabbing Fareed in the heat of the moment, but insisted that Imran had nothing to do with it. "He was trying to stop us from fighting," she said, "but I couldn't take it anymore." Detective Rourke pieced together the final timeline. Fareed's discovery of the affair led to a heated confrontation, during which Aisha lost control and stabbed him. Imran arrived later, witnessed the aftermath, and panicked, leaving behind the incriminating footprints. On March 12, 2023, Aisha Malik was formally charged with second-degree murder. Imran, while cleared of murder charges, faced obstruction of justice for lying to investigators and tampering with evidence. The trial of Aisha Malik began on September 5, 2023, drawing national attention due to its shocking twists and the family drama at its core. The prosecution argued that Aisha's actions were premeditated, fueled by her affair with Imran and her growing resentment toward Fareed. They highlighted her initial lies to investigators and the calculated effort to hide the murder weapon. Aisha's defense painted a different picture. Her lawyer claimed she acted in self-defense, overwhelmed by years of emotional neglect and Fareed's volatile reaction to the affair. They argued that her actions, while tragic, were not premeditated but a momentary lapse of control. Imran Malik testified against Aisha, describing the chaotic scene he walked into that night. While his involvement raised eyebrows, the evidence supported his claim that he did not participate in the murder. He was later sentenced to 6 months of probation for obstruction of justice. After weeks of emotional testimony, the jury found Aisha Malik guilty of voluntary manslaughter. On October 15, 2023, she was sentenced to 12 years in prison with the possibility of parole after 8 years.